Morning on Deck is back. It's January. It's 37 degrees today. I'm going swimming.
I had a window open this morning in the kitchen. Yeah.
Was that the coldest,
so
most
cold.
disgusting weather?
Yeah, it has been.
However, I did manage to look at it in a positive way and get some things done.
Like what?
Well, every single day I went to the fitness center and did this fabulous Zumba class with this gal named Bunny Jones. I felt like it was a Broadway star.
Oh, wow.
So that was so much fun, and a bunch of women. And I don't think I ordinarily would have done that, but I did it every single day. And I have all of my cabinets and closets cleaned out, and I've done a lot of writing for your writing group.
Excellent.
And I started taking different classes online.
Oh, nice.
I found this site called Universal.com. It has 55,000 different classes, and I'm taking one on investing in stocks and bonds because I decided the world is going to hell, so I got to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
You've been much more productive than I have been. Well, I've made many pots of soup. I've done a lot of writing. I've read a lot of mystery novels. There was some vacation time mixed in there with my family.
Right.
It's a little smothering, actually. So I'm really happy to be back to work at my desk. But being cold and trapped in an 800 square foot house with your husband and 9-year-old daughter who is learning to play the piano and got a violin for Christmas.
Oh boy, that could be a little.
Yeah, it was cozy.
Yeah. So you were okay to get out of that coziness and get back.
Yes.
Get back to work. Good. Well, it's National Mentoring Month in January, which reminds me of the Golden Globes and Oprah Winfrey, because she certainly is the mentor of the world.
Oh, Oprah.
What'd you think about her speech?
Oh, gosh, people were on their feet even before she stopped speaking.
Yeah.
And the Twitter exploded with Oprah 2020 midway through that speech.
I know.
It was exciting and thrilling. Every part of that night. Natalie Portman, when she said, and now all the male nominees. And someone on the red carpet. Who was it? Deborah Journalist? Someone on the red carpet called out one of the interviewers, their organization. It was,
really? I watched it taped, so I didn't see it. It was fabulous.
Me too. I saw all the splendid outtakes.
Me too. I get it. I like that. What was Oprah's line that she said?
It's a new day
Senior
is on the
moment.
horizon.
A new day is on the horizon, and
a new day is on the horizon. And the way she said it, and the audience just surged.
I know. It was fabulous. It was really fabulous.
It was exactly what we needed, especially since we were marching a year ago.
Right. Do you think it'll be Oprah 2020?
It would be awesome if it were. I'm not entirely opposed to a legit stable genius, a real stable genius as a celebrity in the White House, but the fact that it's even a possibility and that it was such an exciting moment bodes well.
Yes, probably more will be Oprah on 2020.
Yes.
Okay?
I don't know.
So National Mentoring Month is very intriguing to me. One of my New Year's resolutions was to try to give back a little bit, because I feel very grateful to have so much, and I don't mean materialistically. I just mean, the love of family and children, and a lot of kids, a lot of adults don't have arms to wrap around them all the time. So I met this woman named Barbara Cotton who works for Big Brother, Big Sister, and she's going to be joining and talking about her organization and the mentoring that does. And by the end of it, you'll want to be a mentor.
Okay.
So
Sign me up.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Barbara Cotton from Big Brother, Big Sister. We're back, not just with Barbara Cotton, but with the Cotton family. John and Barbara, welcome.
Thank you, Betsy.
As we said before we went to break, you're welcome. My pleasure. It's National Mentoring Month, and you two are both very involved with that. I'm going to start with you, Barbara. You're very involved and work for Big Brother,
Big sister
big sister.
of Cape Cod and the Islands, yes.
And you call them, the people that are there, the bigs and the littles.
Yes, we do.
Can you tell us what you do there and what the organization does and why everybody should get involved in
Absolutely,
that
it would
organization?
be my pleasure. It's why I'm here. So for the last 15 years, January has been the month of mentoring, and it really is to call attention to the importance of positive role models in youth today. And I think, especially with what's going on in our communities, more important than ever. So my job as the Regional Development Officer is to really fundraise and raise awareness, and then we have the programming side that also really garners the volunteers. So most importantly, the message that we want to get out is please consider volunteering, consider giving your time. I think one of the most important things going on with the community in crisis today is feel powerless. They don't know how to help. But how more powerful than to be a positive role model in a young person's life and really affect change.
And I'm sure that for the bigs who do the work, it's a really wonderful feeling as well. Not just great for the kids who are being mentored. How do you go about doing it? What do you...
So there is a lot of criteria for that. Somebody who's interested would contact our agency, and then there's a lot of protocol and fine-tuning for making a match. We, of course, want to try to make sure that whoever is matched with a child, that it is for both of their best interest. Safety is always a concern, and we have the highest standards.
And what would a big do with his or her little person? Is it a weekly commitment, a monthly commitment?
It's usually 2 times a month for 2 hours, and usually it takes place on the weekends because that's the most mutually agreeable time. But it's about spending good quality time together. So many of our littles, and gosh, if we had unlimited resources, I believe we could serve about 4,500 children across the Cape.
No kidding?
That's how many would fit the criteria.
4,500 a mentor?
Yeah, could absolutely benefit from a mentor today. And usually they are from single households. Right now, because of the increase in grandparents raising grandchildren, so many of those children qualify for the standards that we have for the program.
I see. What could you do with your little?
So many things. Really, it's about spending quality time. So our littles are in need of positive role models. For some of them, it's about building confidence. It's about making good choices. And so being with a big who mentors and displays those kinds of qualities is important. Could be something as simple as walking the beach, collecting rocks, doing a craft or an activity, attending a sporting event. It could be reading a book together. It could be doing homework. It could be going to the movies. It could be bowling.
Anything.
Anything.
That you can
And it doesn't
think
have
of.
to be expensive. It's the same thing when you're spending time with your own child.
Sure.
Things that are important. It's about spending time together.
Isn't that great? You know, one of the questions I had been thinking of was many people here on the Cape are older and retired and go away for a couple of months in the winter. And I was telling some friends about Big Brother, Big Sister, and they said, well, I can't do it. I'm not here for 2 months. But you have a solution.
We absolutely do, and it's called technology.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you can pick up a telephone and you can Skype, have a regular conversation on the telephone, that's part of the check-in. So vacations and traveling are reality for so many of our bigs. In fact, 55% of our bigs are retired.
Is that right? Okay.
They are. And actually, if you think about it, in some ways, I think those who have been parents earlier, who've become grandparents, who are in a different stage of their life, have so much more to give, understanding what it's like to have battled through the teen years, and to really offer that kind of support to a young person. It's truly invaluable.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. What kind of fundraising do you do?
So primarily I work with our donors directly, and I run fundraising events. So right now we're working on a golf tournament that's coming up on June 4th at Pocasset.
Oh,
we do a huge fishing tournament in July, and that's one of our very biggest fundraisers. And we do some fundraising on Martha's Vineyard as well, because we have a very strong contingent over there as well.
I bet.
We do, yes.
That's wonderful. How'd you get involved in this?
Oh my goodness. Well, I was a teacher in my other life, not so very long ago.
Who wasn't? Yeah.
And being a parent as well. But being a mentor has always been really important. I know from having been a high school English teacher, really the important role that an adult can carry with a child. And so this was a natural transition for me.
That's great. That is. I was a high school English teacher also, and I have a very special person that I still keep in touch with that I mentored when I was teaching. So it's just
It is. It's very
wonderful.
powerful. And then for years later to hear back from those students the difference that you made. Sometimes we don't realize what it is while we're going through it, and then afterwards, it's so very powerful to hear that.
Remind me after the show to tell you my story. John,
Yes.
you're a selectman, but we're not going to talk about what a wonderful selectman you are. Today we're going to talk about your other role, your mentoring role.
Okay.
I understand you are a Boy Scout leader.
Yes, I've been a Boy Scout leader for, I think probably 8 to 10 years now.
And
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that. Because, sometimes Boy Scouts leaders haven't been getting the best rap lately.
Yeah, and I think, it's like anything else. It's, you don't get paid for the job. So it's, depends on the people that are stepping up. But like anything else, you have to, every town has their own troop, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been a Boy Scout leader, but I started out as a Cub Scout leader and moved on up with my son. And through the years, it's all about just similar to Big Brother and Big Sister as far as mentoring. It's just participating and spending your time with them. There's raps out there for bad raps for I think everything
everyone,
nowadays. But I think they have checks and balances in place that if you're a good person and you can just give back to the community, there's so many different ways you can give back. You can give back financially if you don't have the time.
Sure.
And if you have the time and you have the patience to participate in as a leader or work with the committee in Boy Scouts, there's a lot of things that go into Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts in the program. It's an amazing mentoring program itself, because there's a lot of families that a lot of kids only have one parent.
Right.
So they're there, and this is their separation from the daily life where it's a little more hectic, but now it's like in Boy Scouts, it's Scout-led. So the kids actually lead the meeting. So it's very different. Where the adults are, like myself, as an adult, one of the adult leaders, we sit back and we just make sure that they're safe and they're behaving in a safe manner, but they lead, they
great.
organize, and they structure the meetings and what they're going to teach the other scouts. So the older scouts teach the younger scouts the way of scouting. And it's all about teamwork and, team building. And we just have a lot of fun. And the reward give back is twofold. I mean, they enjoy the experience, and it makes our heart feel good that we did a good job and they had fun. So it's very rewarding.
How
on both
old are the
ends.
kids in your troop?
So anywhere from between 11 and 18.
Oh, okay.
So we have at 18 you age out, if you will. So if you do not achieve the rank of Eagle by the age of 8, by your 18th birthday, you're unable to receive that Eagle Scout rank forever. It is all or nothing by your 18th birthday.
And I know that becoming an Eagle Scout is
it's quite an honor. My son has achieved Eagle, and
great.
a lot of we have a small Scout troop, but we have a very well-performing
They're
Scout
mighty.
troop. But we're very involved in the community, and our Scouts love it.
Well, so tell us, it's Mentoring Month. How can people get involved? What should people that are watching the show that say, sounds good, what should they do?
People make the time for things that are important, and now more than ever, our community really needs their support. Financial is always greatly appreciated, and it does sustain the things that we do, whether it's Boy Scouts or Big Brother, Big Sister. But getting involved and giving your time is really important. And so they can call me directly, of course. They can go to our Big Brother, Big Sister website.
Which, by the way, I looked at, and is so nice. And
Thank you.
It just seems like anybody would want to get involved immediately.
Absolutely. And so I'm sure that Bill will put the number up on the screen for everyone to be able to contact us.
I'm
But
sure he
please
will.
call me and find out how to get more involved.
Thank you both very, very much for being on the show
you, Betsy.
today. You're welcome. And we are going next to another person, Deborah Journalist from Christ the King Church, who's going to talk to us about the Needy Case Fund. we're back with Debbie Journalist, but before we speak to Debbie, I have to know what is in that jar.
Oh, this is my New Year's resolution. This is fire cider. It's Bragg's apple cider vinegar with the mother. You've seen those jars at the supermarket.
Yes.
Wild honey, turmeric, cayenne, cinnamon, garlic, horseradish, and I think that's all. Oh, and ginger.
And you drink a whole jar of that every day?
Oh no, I drink
Oh.
like 4 slugs of it every day. I mean, I was the kid who drank the pickle juice out of the jar,
Oh.
so this is like, I could actually drink all of that, but it would probably burn out my esophagus. So it's supposed to reduce inflammation. I had cancer a long time ago. It's anti-cancer, the turmeric, the cinnamon, the apple cider vinegar, and it just tastes good.
Okay, so if anyone wants to go out to lunch with you, this is what they're getting.
It also mixes well with gin.
I like that. Well, we're talking about the fact that it's National Mentoring Month, and I actually believe that I met somebody who's a little bit mentoring me. I was at a party with 2 people who work at Christ the King Church, and they talked to me about getting involved with the Needy Fund at the church. And I went down and I met you, and I had it was at Christmas time, so I had the wonderful experience of being able to give out gifts and watch how everything worked there at the food pantry. And I came home pretty weepy, Debbie, because I did.
It's a wonderful experience.
It
really
is unbelievable. So you're the director of the Needy Cases.
That's
there.
correct.
And I'm thrilled to have the experience to be part of it. Can you
We're
tell
thrilled to have you.
Can you tell our viewers what it is that you do?
What we do is we are mainly the ministry that addresses people's emergency financial needs. So we have an assistance line. We have 15 caseworkers, and we have that line that we answer every day and check. And then we find out what the need of someone might be or where they live, because we are a conference of St. Vincent de Paul, which means we're in, our conference encompasses Mashpee, Katuitt, and part of Marston Mills. So we'll see those clients, we'll set up an appointment. We try to meet with them during pantry hours. As I know you've observed, our pantry is,
Unbelievable.
it's marvelous.
It's a mini supermarket right in the church hall.
Well, we bring in 5,000 pounds of food every week from the Greater Boston Food Bank. Plus, we get donations from, BJ, Stop and Shop, Roach Brothers, and parishioners or other people, the fire department, the police department, the banks. So we'd like our clients to come in then for 2 reasons. One is it allows them to see how smoothly the pantry runs, how comfortable it is to go there and use it. And then we can sit with them, go through what their need is, their immediate emergency need, address that. But we also do their expenses and their income, which allows us to show them some budgeting tools, allows us to find out resources that they could take advantage of if they're not taking advantage of.
And that's what I meant by the mentoring. You're just not throwing money at them.
No, we are not there to enable anyone.
Right.
We're not there to support anyone. We're there to help them in that emergency need, to keep them in their house, to keep their heat on, to keep their electricity. We've even helped people because their car has broken down and now they can't afford to fix it to go to work, because we want to keep people working. And so that's what we do. We try to do only once every 18 months to financially help. But what we try to do from there is to help educate people, to let them see. Many people don't know how to even do a budget. They've never done one. They've never put out in front of them what their income is, what their expenses are. And that, by doing that, it sets off a light in the head. And then we can go to the next step of showing them different resources they can use. utility companies have discount plans. There is fuel assistance available to the community, South Shore Community Action Group. All of these things can help them to live within their means. And if they come to the pantry, one of the biggest savings is food. And they can walk out upwards of $150 worth of groceries every week if they need to. We service anywhere from 60 to 100 families every week.
Wow.
So that's our goal, is really to help to bring someone out of the cycle of poverty, to bring them to be able to take care of themselves, is what we do.
So the people that you serve, do they have to be a parishioner?
No, we service anyone in the communities of Mashpee, Katuitt, and the part of Marston Mills west of 149. Makes no difference, anyone we help. Not
So
religious,
So great.
any religion, any race, color, creed, anyone, children, adults, the elderly.
Right.
One of the people we work with a lot are the veterans.
And the
because-
people I met there are so helpful to the clients who come
Oh,
in. I
yes.
mean, they were packing up their bags, they were carrying it out to the car, but they were just doing everything.
Absolutely.
It was really great. And when I went home, it was particularly cold when I was there. So my husband later in the day went in the class and he said, "Where are all my jackets?" I said, "You don't need so many jackets. Other people do need jackets." I'm taking them to St. Vincent's. I was just struck by how much most of us have and how little some people have. It's just unbelievable.
It is amazing when you sit and you talk with some of the families. We even had an experience not too long ago of someone, during this cold season, of course, we get the emergency phone call,
Right.
we're out of oil, we're running out of oil, I don't have enough money to pay. We had one family who actually said, the money we got for our children we'll use towards the oil if you pick up the rest of the bill. And we said, absolutely not, you keep that for the next oil delivery, we'll take care of it. But we do, please understand, we vet and interview our clients very deeply, because we want to be sure we're using our money properly.
Sure, no scamming there, right?
We try very hard to avoid that. It can happen, but we try to avoid it. And we want to help people, again, as I say, in the proper way that will help them help themselves, is basically what we're trying to do.
The most important thing of all,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Debbie, thank you for being on the show today. I want to throw in a plug for Dance for a Cure, which is February 10th. Christine is the MC of that event. People are going to dance and dance and dance and dance and raise lots of money for cancer, and have a wonderful month. And thanks for joining.